All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about how to effectively use direct messaging, what to say, and then different pieces of call to action based on comments, based on in a direct message, and based on engagement within sites, something like Facebook and other platforms as well. I'm excited to chat with you about it because assuming the sale and asking for the sale is going to be super, super important for you and your business, retention wise, as always, and also within how quickly and how swiftly you convert. If you don't ask or assume for the sale, you won't get sales. So, as we've said in other videos, be sure to be thinking from the end result. If you want someone to do a certain something, give them that call to action, but then also assume that they're going to by being direct and being confident in your approach. Now, I'm going to share my screen. You guys will see the PDF below that you can also use for this. Okay. In sharing my screen, we are going to be going to this one here. Okay, DMs and CTAs. You guys will have the PDF below that looks very similar. Right now, it's a Google Doc because that is how I'm sharing it for this video. Now, let's see if we can scoot this up a little more. Okay, so first, I would just want to tie in that you can be productive and proactive in reaching your warm market on a platform like Facebook when you do engagement posts. Now, because you guys know to use RVL, results value lifestyle, part of your results type of post could be engaging for the business opportunity, whatever it is you're promoting as an affiliate, as a digital marketer. Okay. So 3 examples here. Okay. That I gave. Now, alter them the way that you see fit. Alter them the way that you see fit. If you want to be more blunt, if you want to say, let me know instead of drop me a comment, feel free to alter them. These for me have worked. And so I encourage you to use something very similar, if not this exact type of phrasing. Now, depending what it is you offer, the words below might not be applicable. Be sure to alter and edit them out the way you see fit. Again, using your own voice, speaking to your avatar. Okay. Now, right now, I want to focus on this one. Okay. 5 spots open for my work at home position. If you think you have what it takes, drop me a comment. You could say, drop me a comment below. You could put an emoji with a down arrow, drop a me in the comments, whatever you want to do. But what formula are we following? Hook, build up, present value, call to action. So the hook is there are only 5 spots. It's scarce. That scarcity then ties into something like if you think you have what it takes, which is a good thing because you only want people commenting me or drop a comment below for those who have, I want a work at home position. I wonder what it's about. I want to see if I have what it takes. Let me prove that I can, right? Scarcity. And in taking away like that makes it so the people who do comment are more serious because it's not you just saying, hey, join my business, and then no one cares. You want to be leading with something that's beneficial for them, not just the feature at this point. Okay. On a note like that, your feature, okay, a feature in a car, I'm going to unshare my screen so you guys can understand my passion behind it. If you are a car salesman and you are selling the features compared to the benefits, the feature for a mom who has, 6 kids and wants to go get a minivan from the car dealership, the feature would be it's a gray interior, it's got lots of storage, right? Which is nice for a mom with 6 kids. But the benefit is if that salesman knows that she has 6 kids and they're going to be taking a 12-hour road trip to California for their vacation, not only do they need the storage, but they need that salesman could tie it back into her benefit in having the storage for her Disneyland trip. Okay. And same exact thing with Facebook. You want to be engaging people, not pitching them. You don't want to be spamming them. You want to be leading them. So everything that we go through right now, whether it's the engagement post, it's how to follow up, it's how to comment back, all of those types of things are applicable. So make sure to pay attention, take it seriously, because as you assume the sale and as you ask for the sales, I mentioned at the start, and then you do engagement posts with a specific method, a specific formula where you are giving them the benefit without being salesy, you will see a return on your investment within your warm market. Now, this Facebook example that we're going over right now and sharing my screen, that one is specific to your warm market. This is not cold contacts. These are you and your engagement within your friends who you have on Facebook, which again, like we said in another video, you're having them opt in to see the information. You're not spamming the feed. You're still following the results value lifestyle formula, and you're doing it in our method, right, of hook, build up, present value, and call to action. What I encourage when doing an engagement post like this is to make it so it is a picture with a cute background, not one that's just typed. You don't want to see text. You want to see it where it is a background type of picture collage. Okay. Now, in sharing my screen again, okay, here are 3 examples. Now, these examples just give you a little bit of insight for how you too can use something like this. But again, please alter it the way that you see fit, where you're speaking to your avatar. If you have an e-commerce store, obviously my work at home position is not applicable. But if you were hiring, then yes, it could be. If you are an affiliate marketer, yes, it is a way to engage people to work at home because you're saying that it's a position, which it is. You're just using different language to draw in a different audience. Okay. And then you want to give a call to action. Emojis, again, using the background instead of just text on Facebook, but the background within the text that's cute, that you can be read, it can be seen. You're going to want to do that every time you do an engagement post like this. And then make sure to treat them like a 2-year-old. Tell them to drop a whatever below. Drop your favorite emoji below and I'll reach out, whatever it is. Okay. Now, when commenting back to a Facebook post like that, if you were to say 5 open spots for my work at home position, if you think you have what it takes, drop me a comment below. If you post that and then you have guy named Bobby comment below, hey, I'd like information, Kirsty, you can then have 2 options. First, making them come to you, or you reaching out to them. Okay. But the reason you want to comment back to every single one, not just like the comment, is because it does what? Boosts it into the algorithm. So comment back to every single post, whether that's about business, like we're talking about here, or that's an engagement post because of your cute kids that you posted a picture of, whatever else. Okay. So you have the option of replying back to Bob. Sweet Bob, I'll shoot you a direct message now. Again, power word, which is a good thing. You want them to know now, today, right now, that kind of thing. And you could also say, sure thing, Bob, send me a direct message when you have the time today. Because then Bob, depending how quickly you respond, he might direct message you right away, which is nice because then he's coming to you. He's the one opening the conversation. Or you can do it where you're using a power word and saying, great, I'll shoot you a message now, right? But you're commenting back to help it boost into the algorithm. And then depending who the person is, if you know them, if you want to be more direct, you have the 2 options for either them coming to you or you going to them as the 2 examples here. And for me, I really like using their name. Now you don't have to, because it tags it, Bob Smith, it tags him in blue on Facebook. You don't have to then say sweet Bob after it already said Bob. You could have it say Bob Smith, his highlight tagged name. So it gives them a notification, right? Sweet exclamation point. I'll send you a direct message now, right? If you're not friends with them on Facebook, you could also include something like, be sure to check your request folder. Okay. The reason you want to do that is because if you're not connected on Facebook, they're just a follower of your public post, for example. If you're not friends with them, they probably will not see your message and it will be in the request folder. Okay. So giving them a call to action direct of where to find it is a good idea. And if you're not connected with them, I would recommend shooting them a direct message right away anyway, no matter what you say back, because then you already connected with them. Then you can easily follow up and not misplace or accidentally forget. Okay. Now, commenting back to TikTok, remember from our TikTok videos that we say you can't put a period, right? So if my website is theksnyder.com, I don't want TikTok to know that I am taking them off the platform. Now, that's specific to TikTok, which is why it's under the TikTok section. You will want to put something like this. Okay, it's shift and 8 for the .com instead of a period. All right. You want to get away with not having TikTok know that you're taking them to another platform. So again, you don't say link in bio, you get creative, things like that. Okay. And as far as replying on a place like Facebook, Facebook Reels does not care if you put the .com. So you can put something like this. Okay. And when you do, it will actually populate the website when you comment back, which is a good thing. TikTok does not do that. So even if you put the site or not, it's not going to give a thumbnail of the website the way that Facebook Reels would. Okay. So Facebook Reels, you don't have to follow that rule. TikTok, you do. Pay attention to both. Now, I'm not going to read through how and what I respond with. You guys can read that yourself in your PDF. And something I want to point out is a reply on TikTok. Okay. The reason I give a couple examples is why? Find me on Facebook after if you want to chat directly. Why? To keep them in my circle. Because what? I have a Facebook group, right? I want them to stay where I am, my brand. Remember me, right? Sally, great to connect. Head to blah, blah, blah to see if it's your business fit. A takeaway, right? I'm not saying, oh my gosh, hurry and do it, Sally. I need you. Nope, you don't need them. You are posturing and giving yourself authority positioning by taking away, see if it's your business fit. Go here, Sally. Great, right? And then a little bit more of one. Thanks for commenting. Great to connect with you. Jump now over here to this, for insight. I'm confident you'll find what you're looking for. Again, a way of posture, a way of authority positioning. Now, on Facebook Reels, I almost always comment these two things. I hardly ever comment something else. Even if the person on Facebook Reels asks a certain question, I won't answer in a comment. I will tell them to go to my website, and then I will tell them that they can DM me. Why? Because they're already on the platform. They could easily click my name and then shoot me a message, right? And then I know that when I check my own request folder, these people have found me from Facebook Reels, right? They have found me from Facebook Reels, or because they found me from TikTok, they're shooting me a message now, which means I'm sending them the same type of message, right? Let's see. Oh, I'm sending them the exact same message, actually. It's the same thing. If girl named Sally comments on a Facebook Reel, I'll send her, right? I'll comment back that with the period com.com, right? Because I can do that on Reels. I will comment that. And then if Sally then messages me, I will send her the same thing, depending what she says. So for example, if Sally comments on a Facebook Reel, I give her that generic message, hey, hop over here, DM me after if needed, something like that. I'm not keeping track of if Sally messaged me or not. A lot of times you can direct message every single person who comments on Facebook Reels. For me, I personally don't do that because I want people who are taking action themselves, not me reaching out to them every single time. Because it's a way, I guess you could say, of cherry picking. If I have a Facebook Reel that has 300 comments, and out of those 300 comments, only 30 people message me. Now, I don't know if they came from that video or if they came from another one, but I know people who message me, if I send them the same comment back of hop to this website, see if it's your fit, DM me after if you want, or to chat directly. The people who message me and say, hey, I saw your video on Facebook Reels. Hey, found you on TikTok. I know that they're more serious because they took another action, which psychologically is them saying yes, which is easier for them to say yes when they enroll into your offer. Okay. So be sure to always do that. Make sure that on Facebook, when you really go into Facebook Reels, that you are checking your request folder often. Okay. The request folder, I'll actually show you guys exactly where that's at. Share my phone here real quick. The request folder is in your Messenger app on your phone. So you will have to have the Messenger app on your phone. Okay. Let's see, screen mirroring. Let's show this. Okay. So right here, you'll go to the sandwiches here at the top. Okay. Message request. It's that third option, the little yellow messenger. People you may know that might be in there because of mutual friend, maybe a mutual group that you have, and then you'll check spam. Now, currently I don't have any, but I'll tell you what, every single day I wake up to at least 10 new messages in my request folder. And you're going to want to be checking that often because all of these types of messages are people that you already have connected with, who you've already talked with. But in order for you to connect with a new person, you need to go to, right? So here's your normal chat stuff. You're going to go to the 3 lines at the top left, hit message requests, make sure to go through the you may know section, and then hit the spam one. And that's also how people can find your message. So if you ever need to explain that to someone, you can, okay? And same thing here. If ever you have your Facebook business page, which don't worry about that. That's something that Facebook does not boost into the algorithm. Okay. Good to have for presence if you want, but not a big deal. To check messages from there, you're going to want to, here's your main stuff. Okay. Here's your main messages. You're going to go to the bottom right where your little profile picture is, switch account, and then your business page. Okay. As you can see, I've got messages here too. This is people finding me on my business page rather than just my personal timeline where they click something. Okay. All right. So let's unshare that. Now, going back to the PDF that is below, you guys are following along, I'm sure. When you follow up, this is where it kind of gets good as far as what to say so that you're not salesy. Okay. And this ties into a couple things below too. So be sure to pay attention and take notes. Now, when you're following up, hey, Bob, right? Bob found you on Facebook Reels. Let's say he then DM'd you. You said, go check out my overview, whatever you did, right? As we mentioned above. And then let's say you don't hear from him. Well, squeaky wheel gets the grease. And in this business, especially within a platform like Facebook, it is a good thing and it is okay to follow up. So toss your assumption aside of how you're salesy or desperate. You're not, unless your intent in messaging them is that you need them to join whatever it is you do. Okay. You don't need them to join. You will have maximized income regardless. So when you follow up, have that be your intention. Okay. You would say something like, hey, Sally, just wanted to touch base with you on working at home. What questions can I answer for you now? The reason you're not saying, do you have any questions, is because do you have any questions is a closed-ended question. And if the person does not have a question or they don't care, they're not going to reply. So when you say a power word like now, and you assume they have questions by keeping it open-ended, what questions can I answer for you now? They're going to reply, I don't have any questions, screw you, don't want to do it. That's the worst that could happen, right? Or they just don't reply at all. But when you assume that they do, you're there to help them and they know that. And you say now, so psychologically, they're thinking now, okay, cool. I want to chat with her and see if this is for me. I have this question. I have that question. Okay. And then you just message and figure it out. Now, protect your time. If they're asking questions that do not apply and they're dragging their feet, don't waste the time on that. You are valuable. You need to act like it. Okay. But if you do follow up and they do have questions, understand that they are a more warm prospect, a warm lead. So you do want to spend the time, just make sure to guard your time and that they're not asking questions that are not applicable. Okay. Now you can also say something like, hey there, Sally, following up from our previous message. How can I help you get started? The reason you are assuming that they want in is because, again, the worst they could say is, I'm not interested, girl, chill, right? You want to assume that they're going to get started. So how can I help you get started? That is an open-ended question. Well, cool. Hey, send me the link. Well, hey, I had a question before I got to talk to my spouse, whatever it is. Okay. You now know their obstacle that you now get to overcome by asking, how can I help you get started? So when you assume that sale, you assume that they want in, you also allow the doors to open for any objections that are going to come up that they maybe didn't think to message you yet. Okay. But when you follow up, it's okay that you're following up and then you're helping them overcome the obstacle that they have by having an assumption of the sale. Okay. Now, going into the Facebook group, you guys, when someone finds you from Instagram, Facebook Reels, TikTok, okay, they then message you. Why? Because you told them from TikTok and Reels, hey, direct message me on Facebook, DM me after, right? Just like we said above. When they message you and say, hey, I want information. Hey, could I start at this and upgrade later? Hey, could I get started next week? Hey, whatever. Hey, I just want info. When that happens, you know that they're connected with you. So when a person gets into your Facebook group, because you have bridged the gap from short form video to now email list to now getting into your Facebook group, as you saw in another video, people who request to get into your Facebook group, you're going to message all of them, right? Because in another training, we said specifically, let me stop sharing here. We said specifically in another training that you are asking in one of the 3 group approval questions, may I DM you? Like, how serious are you? Communication is key. Can I direct message you now? Let's see if this is your fit, right? Go watch that video if you haven't already. Now, when you direct message someone who gets into your Facebook group as a tie-in, you're tagging them in the welcome post, right? You're saying, hey, I shot you a message, talk with you soon, Sally. All right, right? And then you're sending them a message. Now, the generic message that I send everyone who goes into my group, no matter the answers they gave, okay, I will always say this almost verbatim, okay? Hey there, Sally, Kirsty here. Awesome to have you involved. You're now in my Facebook group for digital marketing and working at home. And then I will include the exact Facebook group link, okay? You don't want to just say, hey, you're in the group, cool. They might not be notified. Facebook doesn't always notify them accordingly. So make sure to include the exact link of your Facebook group, okay? And then you're going to, this is one of the only times you're going to ask a question that is closed-ended. Have you seen my business overview yet? Now, you can alter that the way you see fit depending on your offer. If you want to ask something that is, saying, have you seen my business presentation? Have you seen my business video yet? Have you, whatever it is, wherever you want them to land to get the right information for your offer, you need to ask that. And this is one of the only times where it will be a closed-ended question. Have you seen my business overview yet? A lot of times people just respond with yes or no. And when they respond with yes, I then will message them and say, great, what questions can I answer for you now? Right? Tying it back to what we already talked about. And if they say no, I will posture myself and I will say, no problem, Sally. Let me know when you have the time and I will drop it your way. I will drop the link your way. I will send the video your way, whatever it is, right? And then the person can then say, well, I'm at work till 5. Can you send it later tonight? Yep, I'll look forward to hearing from you then, right? Now, you can follow up if they give you something like that. You can be the one to follow up. That's fine. It more just depends. Do you want them coming to you? Do you want to be going to them? Okay. Again, those options as we previously talked about. Now, when you do follow up, because she already said 5 o'clock, if you decide that you're going to be the one to follow up, you will say, great, Sally, I'll follow up around 5 tonight. Talk with you then, right? You are saying that because then when you follow up at around 5 o'clock, as she suggested, it's not weird and it's not salesy. It's you following up because you said you would, right? It's like you're giving a little bit of permission to follow up without you being like, oh, I feel awkward. She hasn't messaged me. What if she's at work? Nope. You said you would follow up at 5 because of her suggestion. Okay. A way of posture, a way of authority positioning. You want them thinking it's their idea. If you were to just say, hey, you're in my group, here's the link, have you seen my business overview yet? And then Sally's like, no, I haven't. Oh, here it is. Nope. You gave away your authority and your posture as soon as you said, oh, here it is. You have no idea if Sally has the time, if she wants to watch right now. You need it to be her idea for when she's watching your VSL, your business overview, your video, whatever it is. Okay. That's why you can say something like, no problem, Sally. Let me know when you want the link to watch it and I will drop it your way. Hey, well, I'm on lunch. I can do it right now. Will you send it to me? That's almost always the response. They want it right now, or they will say, yeah, I have time tonight. Okay. A way of posture. I encourage you guys to do it in that way. Don't have them be eating out of your hand rather than you feeling like you're selling them. Okay. It needs to come from them. They take it way more seriously when it comes from them. Okay. Now, in sharing my screen again, here are 2 questions I ask in my direct messages on Facebook. Okay. So let's say Bobby finds me from Facebook Reel. He then messages me and says, hey, saw this Facebook Reel. I'd like to know what you do from home. I will send him a generic statement, right? Because I'm protecting my time. I will send him a generic statement like, hey there, Bobby, great to connect. Yes, of course. Hop on over to blah, blah, blah site, whatever your offer is. DM me after with any questions. Okay. And then that gives you permission to follow up if you want. Okay. Now, when Bobby and I, let's say he watches it. Okay. And then I message him later. If he says he's watching it now, I will tell him, great, I'll follow up in about 15 minutes. Why? Because I know my offer is about 9 or 10 minutes long, right? So I know that if he's watching it now, I then give myself permission to follow up in 15 minutes, giving him a 5-minute buffer. Oftentimes he'll message me right after it's done before I even follow up. But when it does that, when that happens, I know he's more serious, right? Again, authority positioning. Now, once we have a conversation going, depending what's being said, depending what questions he has, I will almost always refer to these two types of questions. Okay. And you can alter this the way you see fit. You don't have to take Bobby from Facebook Reels and send him something generic. You could start out with a question like this if you wanted to. Okay. So alter this type of path the way you see fit. It depends on you. It depends on the person you're speaking with. Don't think that it's cookie cutter. It's not. These are just suggestions for what's worked for me. Okay. Now, when I talk to Bobby, I love asking these two questions. Bobby, if you could make any amount from home right now, what number would that be? Because I want to know if Bobby is serious or if he's like, oh, no, I want to make $30 a day. Yeah. Okay. Because depending his answer, that also lets me know his mindset. That lets me know how much he's maybe willing to invest. And it lets me know if he's going to have an objection about time, right? You asking a question like this really allows the person to tell you a lot. If you ask something like, hey, Bobby, great to connect with you. Working at home has been awesome. What amount do you want to make? I want to make $5,000 a month. Awesome. 60K a year is great. How come? Right? It just opens up so much more for you to actually have a conversation with, which means more rapport is built. When he enrolls into your offer, he takes it more seriously. But if you tell him what to answer and you say, why do you want to work from home? And what number? 5,000, 10,000, don't give them the answer. Open end, have an open-ended question. What number would that be? And then have an open-ended conversation, not closed, open-ended. Now, another question I always ask because I love it, I will say, so for you, Bobby, why the online space? Why the online space? Because I found that making money online is not going to be for everyone. So it always makes me curious why you're wanting it or why you're intrigued. Okay. Because again, when you leave it open like that and you give a teeny bit of an example, this is the only time you give an example, right? It's not fit for everyone. So why for you do you want the online space? They will respond with what their goal is. And a lot of times asking that question first, again, depending how you want to route it. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter. You can ask this at any point that makes sense for you. But when you ask, yeah, Bobby, why the online space? Why are you looking to work at home? What is your goal? Essentially, he's going to tell you, yeah, well, I've got blah, 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 and I need and I have debt. And then you're able to build a relationship based on that. Because again, your avatar training, right? You know your avatar. That person is reaching out to you because they saw a piece of content that spoke to them specifically. For me, stay-at-home moms. So when Sally messages me and says, hey, I really struggle with confidence. I really want to contribute financially. My husband is stressed out. We have so much debt. I've been there. I have felt that. Remember from your avatar training, you specifically said, what is it you offer? What type of relatability do you have that your avatar would understand? Those types of things. I used to be in debt. I used to feel the same. So when Sally messages me and says that, I get where she's coming from, which allows my content to speak to her better. Okay. Now, when you ask these questions, okay, this is the last thing here you guys can see on your PDF. I strongly encourage you to talk to them. Talk to them. Send a voice message. Send a voice message. Do not always just text it. When you're asking the question of, hey, Bobby, why the online space? You guys can hear me in my tone how I'm asking that. But if I just ask that with no emojis, just a question mark, they could take it kind of weird, right? But when you voice message and you say, hey, Bobby, great to connect with you. I'm just wondering why the online space? Because I've discovered it's not a fit for everyone. Talk with you soon, whatever it is. He can tell that you're invested in him. You're taking the time to get to know him. He's more inclined to reply back when you make it more personal. Now, this doesn't happen often, but there are times, depending on the conversation, depending on the person, that I will also send a video clip. Yes, I am showing my face. Now, if you do it within the Messenger app, you have like 20 seconds. Okay. You have 20 seconds to record a video. There are times where I go into my camera roll and send back a message to them so they can see me. It depends on the question. It depends how much time I want to give them, all of that. Again, your posture, your authority positioning. But depending the person, if they are 110% my avatar, they're enrolling with my offer, all of those things, and they ask a question of concern, of they don't have the confidence about something, whatever else, because of who I am and my avatar I speak to, I will send a voice message and I'll also sometimes send a video clip. So get over yourself. People want to connect with you. They don't want just typed words behind the screen. Any chance you get, please send a voice message. And then on the rare occasion, if you feel it's ever needed, send a video clip. Okay. And as I mentioned, don't answer the questions for them. Hey, what's your goal in the online space? What number would that be? Don't suggest, is it 1 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand? Don't give them the option. Let them come up with it. Okay. Let them come up with it. You don't decide for them. And open-ended questions. And then the last thing in direct messaging, you want to always be asking a question at the end. Don't just say, hey, welcome to the group. Right? There's a reason I say, have you seen my business overview yet? I want them to have a reason to respond. Okay. Now, going to this right here, okay, tying back into what we said at the beginning, when you are afraid to ask for the sale, you won't get the sale. When you are confident in asking for the sale and assuming that it's yours, you will get a lot more enrollments into your offer. That's just how it is. If you don't assume the sale and you're like I don't know, let me know, they're not going to let you know. You need to assume the sale by asking them a direct question. Awesome, Sally. When do you want to get started? Right? So in the direct message, if it kind of wraps up and she's ready to go, she just said, yeah, I'm in. How much is it? Whatever. You are asking and assuming the sale by saying, when are you getting started? Because the worst they could say is, whoa, girl, chill. I'm not getting started. They could just not reply. But when you assume the sale and say, when are you getting started? When do you want to get started? Hey, well, I get paid Friday. I'll enroll then. Great. I'll follow up with you Friday. Right? Again, authority positioning. You let them know you're following up. So it's not weird when you do. Sweet man, sounds like it's a great fit for you. When are you enrolling? Again, the worst that could happen is, hey, I'm not enrolling, or yeah, I can enroll tonight. How long does enrollment take? Whatever it is. Okay. And then same thing here. Sounds great. What day are you enrolling? So say you talk to a girl named Sally. She says, yeah, I get paid Friday. Okay. So you can either kind of cut the conversation and say, great, I'll follow up with you then. Or you can ask for a specific date and time so that it puts on your calendar. Now, let me just tell you, when you posture yourself by using the expression, the example of calendar, okay, so let's say you talk to a gal named Sally, great conversation back and forth. You've gotten over yourself. You've sent voice messages, for example. She's totally in. She totally loves what you do. She wants it right now. You then say, sweet Sally, sounds like you're a great fit. When do you want to get started? Well, I get paid Friday, so I can do it then. Awesome. I will put it on my calendar to follow up with you then. Now, depending on the conversation, a good takeaway in a context like that would be to say something like, I will follow up with you then. I'll put it on my calendar though, so I don't forget you. I've had so many enrollments that I don't want you to go to the wayside. Whatever it is, that's a really great takeaway. Now, for some of you, that might be a mouthful, so don't say it. But given the context, given how you want to approach it, depending the person, a takeaway like that, letting them know it's urgent, letting them know that you're working with other people, lets them know that they need to show up and they need to be serious. When you follow up, you're assuming the sale, boom, they probably have already done it before you even follow up if you posture it that way. Okay. So having a takeaway, having something be urgent or like it's scarce. Hey, I'll follow up with you then. I'm going to put it in my calendar right now, Sally, so I don't forget about you. I've had so many enrollments this week. I got your back, whatever it is. Okay. Sally feels taken care of. Sally subconsciously feels like it's scarce. So she's going to take it more seriously when you reach out on Friday. Okay. And then if you're delayed on accident or on purpose in responding to her on Friday or following up, you already said you're busy. So what does she want? She wants it even more because you're not just right there being like, hello, enroll into my stuff. No, you are postured and you're giving yourself authority positioning, which means Sally, Bobby, take it seriously. Okay. Now, this last one, which we kind of went over, but you guys can see in your PDF. Have you seen my business overview yet? We already mentioned that. When you're able to watch it, let me know and I'll drop the link, right? It gives yourself authority positioning by them saying when they can watch it. They're admitting to watching it right then and there or later tonight at 5 or whatever it is, giving you the ability to follow up and also follow up right after if they're watching it right away, right? And then, awesome. I'm confident it'll give you some more clarity. I'll touch base in 15 minutes. That's when someone replies and says something like, hey, have you seen my business overview yet? Right? So they're in the Facebook group. Here's my link. Excited you're here. Have you seen my business overview yet? No, I haven't. Great. Let me know when you want the link and I'll drop it your way. Let me know when you have the time and I'll drop it your way. Right? Sally then replies and says, hey, I've got the time right now. I'm on the lunch break. Awesome. I'll follow up here in about 20 minutes. And then you send them the link. And then when you follow up, they know that you're following up. And then what do? You have the conversation, the couple 2 questions that we suggested, depending how you want to route that in your path, in your direct messaging. Okay. When you follow up the 15 minutes later, the 20 minutes later, you are saying, what questions can I answer for you now, Sally? Even if you voice message that doesn't take 3 seconds of voice message, but if they're able to listen to it, they feel like you care. So do everything that you can in your direct messaging to continue holding your authority, giving yourself the right posture, assuming the sale, asking for the sale, being confident to ask for the sale. Be direct. Don't feel like it's salesy. It's only salesy if that's your intent when you type out the words or you say them. People will be able to tell that if that's your secret intent. But remember, you, my friend, are abundant. All the sales, all the offers, all the commissions you want you too. So be sure that when you are direct messaging, that you know for a fact what you have to offer can help them because you know who you're speaking to, your avatar, you have the solution, all of those things. Okay. We'll see you on the next video.